Okay, that time of year again. You don't need the instructions. In fact, you don't even need an introduction. So here's just a scrolling rundown of everything you need to know. You got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And boom, let's go. Starting off number 10 with our comic book movie choice, because hey, who's not a fan of comic book movies? Deadpool and Wolverine takes that first spot. Oh yeah, I reviewed all my picks in separate videos, so I'll link those in the video description below. Deadpool and Wolverine is not a complicated story. In fact, the story is probably the least celebrated part of this film, but this film was funny as shit, and undoubtedly a love letter to all Fox characters in this chaotic sandbox of an action movie. Plus, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are just always great together. Number 9 is definitely a recency bias thing, but being a musical, which I'm not usually a fan of, and the fact that it was just an incredible film anyway, I think Wicked has to take number 9. Yeah, I'm well aware the first 2 picks so far everyone's probably seen already, but I want to show it some love. The musical is insane anyways, so it's bouncing off a solid foundation. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are incredible as the leads. In fact, Ariana Grande was hilarious, and their takes on the songs were incredible. The one downer was just that all the press tour interviews were so weird. Number 8's the horror choice on here. Well, maybe more than thriller than horror. A Quiet Place Day 1 was something I was always wanting to see. How it all began with these creepy aliens and that carnage that takes place. I originally wanted to see it through the eyes of the original family, but freshening it up in a new environment, New York, was a great choice. Joseph Quinn and Lupita Nyong'o were awesome carrying this. It's so worth checking these films out if you haven't already. 7 is straight up action, one that I feel so many people missed out on this year. The marketing for it was a bit naff to be fair, and I wasn't expecting much of it, but Furiosa was just pure adrenaline joy. Incredible car stunts, Chris Hemsworth was just having all the fun in his villainous role. It's honestly something all action fans should see at least once, especially if you've ever enjoyed any Mad Max film in the past. 6 is a shift towards more grounded realism, and that's America tearing itself apart. Alex Garland's Civil War was such a suspense look through the eyes of journalists, trying to document this modern day America just destroying itself from the inside out. A great take through a different perspective, and the sound design weirdly is something that still stays with me even now. This is a must see and will make you hold your breath for about 90 minutes straight. Number 5 is my biopic choice for the year, and it's just one that will straight up punch you in the guts and make you bawl your eyes out. Ironclaw is Zac Efron's career best performance to date, and it tells an insane true story of the Von Erich brothers and their rise and fall in the wrestling industry. Even if you're not into wrestling, which I'm not to be honest, it's such an interesting film and it's one worth giving your time to. It took a long time for me to emotionally recover after this. Number 4 is my anime choice of the year, and was honestly one of my favourite experiences going to see in the cinema. Haikyuu, the dumpster battle, was absolutely insane. It comes with the caveat that you kind of need to have seen all the TV shows leading up to it, but it's a fantastic show anyway, and one that's worth spending time on. And this movie gives us an insane volleyball match that we've long been waiting for, and was animated beautifully and just filled with loads of memorable moments. It honestly makes you finish the movie feeling like you can just run a marathon or something. Going back into action and adventure, number 3 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Whilst the naming of these films in this franchise are questionable, the quality of the movies themselves certainly are not. Rise, Dawn and War were an incredible trilogy, and I was scared Kingdom might have felt unnecessary and like beating a dead horse after that great finale we had. But the time skip was a good shout, and we're met with more memorable characters I'm going to be interested in following in future films to come. Also, just the quality of the CG is just insane as always. Weta smashed it once again. You should definitely check this one out if you haven't seen it already. The penultimate choice on our list is an obvious one. I think one that every sci-fi lover has probably already seen, but is Dune Part 2. Denis Villeneuve gave us such an interesting reimagining of Dune and followed it up this year with some incredible payoffs. The CG is jaw-dropping, the cast is insane, and the performances each of them give manage to meet the quality of the rest of the film. Being an insanely long film is probably its only big fault, but quality-wise there was honestly nothing negative that came from me. I'm so excited for the next installment. And number 1 on my list is what I still think is my favourite movie of the year, and that's The Wild Robot. Such a heartwarming story, told in an art style that's allowing DreamWorks Studios to really come into their own, and shine above the likes of Disney and Pixar. They started with Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, and now in full stride with this one. The voice acting was just so on point from everyone in it, and it's just such a wholesome movie to experience. I've watched this multiple times since, and apparently a follow-up is in the works too, and I'm buzzing for it. It's a great family movie that everyone should definitely check out. Okay, so that's the list. Let me know which of these you've seen, if you agree with the list or you think I'm wrong in every measure and form, but chuck your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe and all that stuff, and as always, stay tuned for more reviews on movies, anime and video games. Until next year, see you all then in 2025. Bye bye.